Hey, folks, it's great to be here with you today. We have a very special guest who wrote a quite unique book. In fact, the moment I heard about this title, I said that's going to be a big one. So, The Buddha Who Drove a Bentley, we have Alessandro Tronco. How you doing today?
I'm doing really great. Thanks, Kary. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Good.
So, listen, man, your wife wrote a book with us, and you wrote a book with us. What your family's doing, a spirit water. We're going to get into all that, but tell us what's behind this book.
Yeah, so I've been wanting to write a book for a very long time. My dad actually wrote two books. He never finished the third grade, but he was always a writer. So I've
Mm.
always wanted to write one. And about 8 months ago, I decided just to write it. And I've sort of always had the story that I wanted to tell. And it actually came about very quickly. I finished writing the book in about 60 days. And then I got your help to put the final touches on it. But it's something I've always wanted to do. And the experience was really amazing that I think I'll continue to write some books. And some people have asked me to do the sequel on this. So we'll see.
That's so good. 60 days, man. Listen, I've read the book. It is, I kind of say that it's in the spirit of um, Andy Andrews, Patrick Lencioni. It's this fable, but it has true life related to it. What was the inspiration kind of behind the whole concept? And maybe you can give us a little bit about
Sure.
the book.
Sure. So the book's about Vincent, and the reason I picked the title, "The Buddha Who Drove a Bentley," I think there's a misconception out in the world that if you have money, if you're wealthy, that you can't be spiritual, or that God doesn't want us to have money and be abundant. And I don't believe that's the case at all. And so you can drive a Bentley, you can have all these amazing things in life and still live a really good life with good values and good morals. And so I wanted to get across to the audience that it's not one or the other. You don't have to make a choice of like, hey, I'm really spiritual and believe in God, or I have money, that it can be both as long as we are doing it the right way. And so Vincent, for a long time, wasn't doing it the right way. Like he had everything that money could buy, and he kept chasing what money could buy, but he always felt empty inside. And he
Mm.
always felt that there was more, but he just couldn't connect what the more was. And so, one day Vincent is driving and he's sort of lost. Like I said, he's got all these amazing things that from the outside looking in, people would really want. But inside, he was really broken and he was lost. And I say that he lost his soul along the way on this journey of really becoming wealthy. And so he goes for a drive, and then something happens on that drive, and then he's found himself in kind of a new land,
Hmm.
and he meets all these different amazing people that teach him 15 different lessons throughout his journey. And some of these lessons are, truth, both being truthful to others and being truthful to yourself. The importance of family. I think a lot of people lose that along the way, especially in America. It's like, you're trying to climb the corporate ladder, but at the same time, a lot of us ignore our families. And so there's a chapter in there on family. There's a chapter in there on mortality. A lot of people are so afraid to die that they can't really live.
Oh, wow.
And that was really one of my favorite chapters to write, because I talk to so many people that have this fear of what happens when I die. When am I going to die? And so there's a chapter on that. Generosity. It's like when God blesses us with money, it's not for us to buy three Bentleys. It's not for us to buy five houses. It really is there to help other people. And I think if more of us, had that mentality of being more generous.
Mm.
And I got to tell you, in my own life and in Vincent's life, the more generous you are, it's amazing all the blessings that come back to us 100-fold. And so, Vincent takes us through this journey. And then at the end of the book, I won't spoil it, he's got a really big decision to make. Uh,
Mm.
One is really easy and the easy route, and one's going to be much harder for him to take these lessons and apply them. And you'll have to read the end of the book to see what Vincent decides.
Yes.
He meets these amazing people on the journey.
It's a riveting book. I want people to kind of see the Amazon page here. I'm gonna bring it up here, but I love it. It's live your most authentic life, find true happiness, and have it all. And me being a former minister, I heard people all the time talk about money is the root of all evil, and it's not. It's actually the love of money. Money is just a tool, like you were saying. And obviously, you can see right here, I purchased the book on launch day, but we are literally going live today because I'll tell you what, this book, we're going to unpack all this here in a moment, but it broke the top 100 in all books on Amazon. There are millions and millions and millions of books. The other day, you were the number one ebook, maybe you still are, on all Barnes and Noble, like in the world. So I think that this book is definitely catching people. You see the reviews, they're just starting to pop here. This is really the first week that we are drawing attention to the book. It's got 5 out of 5. Lots of people are reviewing it. Why do you think there's been such a good reception? Why are people saying, you know what, I'm reading this book. It's a must read. It hits home. It's an inspirational journey. It's a captivating and moving story, life changing. You writing this book, I know as an author, Alessandro, it's tough to write a book. You don't always feel inspired. It's not fun many times. How satisfying is it to now read some of these comments?
Yeah, it's been pretty amazing, and it's been pretty surprising when you sent me that it was the number one ebook
In the
uh,
world.
in the
In the
world.
world.
Took me back a little bit. Kary, I think the reason it's resonating is I believe there's a shift going on in the world, and
Mm,
I believe that we're sort of tired of all the negativity. We're sort of tired of all the hate and all the stuff that if you pick up a newspaper or if you turn on a TV, all this negativity. I think people are tired of it. And so this is a book that's inspiring, and it's a book that if we live these 15 virtues, now they're not easy. I'm going to warn you when you read them, they're not easy. Like loving people that are hard to love, right? It's easy to love people that are easy to love, but
mhm.
loving people that are hard to love is really difficult. So the virtues aren't easy, but if we all got better at these 15 lessons that Vincent learns,
Yeah.
um, we'd all be in a better place. So I think people don't want to be negative,
Yeah.
and people don't want to read all the negativity that's going on. And so I think this book is uplifting, and it maybe gives people hope that there is a better future for us, and it's not all doom and gloom. And I got to tell you, I do a lot of traveling. And I get lost a lot. I don't have a good sense of direction. And I'm always asking people for help. And I have to tell you, almost every time people are super nice, they're super generous with their time. I've not encountered many bad people. And
Wow.
so I think the perception is that everybody's bad and no one really cares, but I have not found that to be the case. I was just in the cab in Chicago, and I met this amazing guy from Ghana, and he immigrated here 15 years ago. And the other thing I start doing now is I start talking to cab drivers and Uber drivers, and I want to hear their story.
Yeah.
And this guy spent $100,000 between the medallion and the cab. And I said, "How did you do it?" And he said, "Well, I just worked and then I saved." And I said, "I'm blessed to be an American, and I'm blessed to bring people like you safely from where you are to where you need to go." So there's a lot of good in the world. I don't think the
Wow.
narrative that there's not like good people in the world. I just think
Yeah.
it's true. So I think this book resonates because it brings that out of us. Um,
That's
so
so good.
most people are good, and so this book will kind of navigate how we can all get better. And
Yeah.
like I said,
Yeah.
these lessons are not easy. Um,
Well, and I love the description. you start with a question. What if you could gain the whole world, but it would cost your soul? And that statement is a it's a twist of an old verse that's been around for thousands of years, but it's a great question. I mean, we see this all the time, whether it's a huge Hollywood celebrity, musician that has the whole world, and yet they die empty, or maybe they take their life, and it wasn't all just this great thing. But Vincent, why are people opening up more with fiction? Because I think I know the answer, but I think that you write these great principles. Forgive yourself before you can forgive others. Tell yourself the truth no matter what the cost. Slow down, or you will miss the magical moments. I mean, oh my gosh, this is great advice. But why is it through fiction
Yeah.
that people are opened up in a new way?
I just think people like a story. People like to hear a story, and so the fiction kind of brings the story alive. But I think as you read the book, you'll know that a lot of it is nonfiction.
Mm,
A lot of it is what most of us face every day. And you could gain the whole world, materialistic and career wise. But if on your deathbed, like you don't have relationship with your family, you don't have relationship with a few good friends, and you don't have these great memories, like what good is it?
wow, that's
And
so good.
it's just the whole world means nothing if you don't have those things. And again, unfortunately, a lot of us have headed in that direction. And Vincent hopefully catches it and he realizes what he's doing at the end of the book, and maybe changes. But a lot of people don't, and there's a lot of regrets. And I got to tell you that there can't be anything worse than sitting on your deathbed, whether you're 70 or 100.
Mm.
You don't have those relationships with the people that love you, and so yeah, the whole world is meaningless if you don't have that.
Well, listen, how much? This is a personal question. You don't have to answer it. How much of Vincent is your old story?
Yeah, about 99% of it.
Oh man. Well, thank you for that honesty. I mean, I think that's why that it can come from such an authentic place. We have people from all over the world watching. We have, Jill. Jill's been the project manager, and she's been great. And your wife Gina, who you talk about a positive person. I mean, she had this cancer diagnosis, and she just became, what was it? What do you call it? The influencer of the year? What do you call that?
LLS Visionary of the Year. So they do this contest for 10 weeks all around the country. And in 10 weeks, she raised $917,000. So it was the top fundraiser in the whole United States of America. And I know we live in upstate New York. It's not an ultra wealthy area. So competing in markets like Los Angeles and New York City and Atlanta, yeah, it was pretty amazing.
But there's an example of someone who you both as a couple, I mean, you kind of live this Buddha who drove a Bentley story that you could have been very negative. You could have threw in the towel. In fact, her book is Why Is This Happening to Me? But yeah, you've risen above. And I know Gina, talks about her faith a lot, but what do you think helps you maintain positive? Because I know that's not easy today.
Yeah, it's just a day-to-day decision. It's a
Mm.
day-to-day decision on what, no matter what happens throughout your day, um, it's how we respond to what happens, and we have total control over that. And you may be stuck in traffic, and that may be painful for you, but maybe God is saving you from a horrific accident, 5 miles down the road.
Wow, what a perspective.
I was just on an airplane and the flight was an hour delayed because of weather. Now, I saw people get annoyed and aggravated. And the flight did not leave any earlier because they were annoyed and aggravated. So now they're late, annoyed, and aggravated. And
Yeah.
I literally sat in my chair here a minute before this
Yeah, you
started,
did. Yeah,
but
you
I
did.
was so calm because, I had a book. I was reading a book, and I said, if I don't make it, I don't make it. But me being upset about it isn't going to help me make it or
Wow.
and so we do have a choice in how we respond. Somebody cuts you off in the road. It's like, yeah, we can be really angry at them, but maybe they have a really good reason. Maybe they just got a call from the babysitter that their kid fell and they're rushing home. I don't really know,
Yeah.
but I do know that and by the way, I am not at all perfect at this. I fall down many, many times. And so I think the key to this is there's no perfection.
Mm, mm,
So when you do fall down, like don't stay down.
yeah.
When you react in a certain way, don't make that your whole day. Make it a moment. And then realize, hey, what am I doing? And let me change my perspective immediately. Let me change my attitude towards whatever is happening. And so it's just an everyday decision when we get up in the morning. And by the way, the minute you rise in the morning, you are super blessed, especially if you live in America.
Mm,
And and we can complain about this country and the politics, and a lot of people do. Um, but there's billions of people without clean water every single day.
let's talk about water.
Okay.
So you got this drink water. In fact, I was just teeing up the Instagram. I ordered a few hundred bottles because I believe in it, and I'm actually gonna use the bottles for my own book launch party coming up. But what is Spirit Water? The it's beautiful, it's clean. I mean, talk to us about this whole.
So, about 10 months ago, I stopped drinking alcohol. And um, I was not an alcoholic, but I drank. And Kary, I got to tell you, I've never made one good decision drinking alcohol. I've
Mm,
never woken up the next morning saying, "Oh, I feel amazing because I drank all night."
wow.
Um, and so it's a poison in our body. And I decided that I no longer wanted to do that. So I stopped drinking. And then I said, what's the purest thing out there that's natural and pure? And it's so amazing for us. And the answer is water.
Mm,
It's really nothing else. I mean, I know there's a lot of gimmicks out there with different drinks and what you do, but at the end of the day, water is the purest thing we can put in our bodies.
mm,
And so we found this rainforest in northern Georgia. Uh, it's rainwater. It's filtered through 2 miles of granite. And
wow.
then what we did that's unique, and I think it's the future, we put it in an aluminum can for a
Mm,
couple of reasons. One, and the most important thing is that plastic is not really recyclable.
yeah.
People think it is, but it's not. It's very toxic to the environment. Two, the water stays really cold in in this aluminum can. Three, it's got a twist top, so if you have good source of water at home, you can just keep refilling it. We'd love for you to buy more and more, but you could refill this.
Wow.
And so and we redesigned the can, so it's always a work in progress because it's a startup, and I know zero about water. I know zero about starting a water company, but it's been really fun. Um, and it's
So
like if we just got back to drinking more water, drinking less alcohol, if you just made that change alone, you will feel better. Your
that's so
workout
good.
will be better. Your diet will be better. People think they drink Diet Coke and it's like it has no calories, so it's good for me. And that's just not true.
Yeah.
And the advertisers are spending billions of dollars to make us think otherwise.
Mm,
So it's water and it's beautiful and it's clean and it tastes really good and it's super pure. Um, it comes from the sky. And so it's been fun. And I believe this company, the future of it is really bright and the future of aluminum cans. I just read the LAX, you can't have any more plastic bottles in LAX. They just banned them.
are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
Martha's Vineyard, if it's more than a liter, it can't be plastic. And I think next year, or the year after, there'll be no plastic bottles on the island. And so this is the way that we're headed. And you go to a supermarket and you can buy 24 cans of water for $5. you should ask yourself why.
Mm,
You should ask, why is it so cheap?
yeah.
And water is not just water. We have to be careful about that. So it's been it's been super fun.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been really great.
Well, you have I got to read a little bit here of your bio. I wanted to share that with people here. But you immigrated from Sicily to the United States at 6 years old with nothing but your family's hopes and dreams to guide you. Through hard work and determination, you became a financial advisor for Northwestern Mutual. Rising quickly through the ranks, you became one of the youngest managing partners in the company's 166-year history. You now, besides Spirit Water, besides being an amazing husband, you inspire audiences around the world. You help them reclaim their fulfillment and authenticity in their lives. You and Gina, who's amazing and has her own killer book here. You have 3 daughters. You live in, is it Latham, New York?
Latham. Yep, Latham, New York.
With 2 dogs, and your website currently is the Buddha who drove a Bentley.com. The Buddha who drove a Bentley.com. How in the world, my friend, can you be so chill? Because I've seen it. Folks, I got to tell you, I've seen Alessandro be chill. I know someone who wasn't the most upright who worked with him, and he handled it amazing. Like, your attitude. I mean, you really live what you say. How in the world are you doing this, man?
Yeah. So a lot of meditation,
Okay.
a lot of silence. I used to watch a lot of TV, Kary. I don't watch almost any TV.
Yeah.
I don't spend a lot of time watching sports. I don't have anything against sports, but I do believe that most people watch way too much of it.
Yeah.
And
Their
so
identity, right? I mean, their moods go up and down based on
I love when they say, "Hey, my team won last night," and they're talking about the Yankees. I'm like, I didn't know you own the Yankees. That's amazing. You know? And they're so vested in this like team. So you're right. It's like, oh, I'm in a bad mood because my team. And again, I don't have anything.
Yeah.
Sports,
But there's something there related to your book, though, that a lot of people put more hope and stock and emotions and investment in things they can't control, like the Yankees, versus what they can control.
yeah, and again, it's society. These teams make billions and billions of dollars off our back, and so society's bought into that model. If I'm not mistaken, I think it started with the Romans with the gladiators. That people were getting restless, and they were like, you know what, the people are getting restless. Let's give them something to distract them.
Yeah.
And so it's evolved from there.
Wow.
So if you don't watch a lot of TV and you don't watch a lot of sports, you'd be amazed how much time you have to do the things that really matter in your life. So I don't waste a lot of time doing things that don't really serve me
Sure.
anymore. I used to waste a lot of time. Meditation has really helped, just being in silence by yourself, connecting with the universe, connecting with God, connecting to whoever you want to connect to, and listen. And I got to tell you, this sounds nutty to a lot of people, but I can hear God talking directly to me, guiding me. Once I cut out all the nonsense and all the noise,
Yeah.
and just ground myself. And it's in my book, the outdoors.
Oh, yeah.
All the magic is, not indoors. And I don't care. We live in the Northeast, so it gets cold. Bundle up and go outside. And I got to tell you, realization I had during COVID, and this is not a political statement.
Sure.
Government said to us, stay inside and drink alcohol. Because if you remember,
They stayed open. Yeah.
Kary, it was an essential business.
Wow.
We said, yeah, you know what? That makes sense. I can't go to work and run my financial planning company, but the liquor store can be open. So get drunk, stay inside. And I got to tell you, that'll never happen to me again. I don't care what happens.
Oh, yeah.
I will not stay indoors because the magic is outside, Mother Nature and the rain and the wind. It's amazing. It starts raining and we start running like we're about to die. It's like, oh my God, it's raining. Now, for the women out there, I understand the hair gets frizzy.
Yeah, but
Harry, you might not have that problem.
no, I don't have that problem. It just drips right off. Yeah,
And but we run like it's like it's just rain. It's okay.
yeah,
Like you're gonna get a little wet. Probably feels amazing.
yeah.
The other thing that I do a lot is it goes back into the grounding piece. Is I walk barefoot a lot now.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know this, but if you travel to a different like time zone and you take off your feet and you take off your shoes and you start walking, you get used to that new time zone and you start grounding. And so jet lag becomes much less
Wow.
when you do that. So
That's amazing.
I was actually my family would be disgusted by this. I was actually in Chicago, like I said yesterday, and I bought these new sandals, but they were horrible and they were giving me blisters. So I literally walked some of the streets of Chicago barefoot, and,
Wow.
and it was fine, and it
Yeah.
actually felt good. And
Yeah.
so outdoors there's a lot, and there is a chapter on Mother Nature and Mother Earth and how beautiful it is.
Wow.
And
Wow.
let's not take it for granted. I think a lot of us take that for granted.
Listen, man, I got to give you the big reveal here at the end. We've had people from all over watching this. So, first of all, congrats on an amazing book. It's an amazing launch week. But this is big, man. This is big. So, I'm going to Barnes and Noble. So, Barnes and Noble, this is not Barnes and Noble US. This is not Barnes and Noble, Ohio. This is Barnes and Noble. Here we are. Here's your book. And I just scrolled down. Check this out, man. Number 1 in the world. That's crazy, man. That is crazy. Number 1 in the world of all ebooks on planet Earth, Barnes and Noble, the biggest bookseller, brick and mortar in the world. So I'm so proud of you, man. I'm proud of your family. It's awesome to see that your daughters are behind the spirit water. It's awesome to see that your wife has been, we heard her story, how you both stood by each other and persevered through trials. But I'll give you the last word. What do you want to say, Alessandro, to the people? This will get replayed and watched many, many times.
Well, first I want to say thank you to you, because this wouldn't have happened without you. Like, writing a book is one thing, but getting it to the final stages and doing it right. So you and your team have really been amazing, and it couldn't have been done without you. And our relationship doesn't end here. I'm going to continue working with you all and write more books. So you guys have really been top notch, and it's hard to find top notch people these days. It really. So I appreciate you for doing that. And listen, I'm blessed, seeing that number 1 in the world. I'm humbled, and I thank everybody that's supporting me. And I've had so much support my whole life. And at times I just didn't deserve it, Kary. At times I deserved that support from people. And I always told a lot of people that are close to me, like, you should have abandoned me a long time ago. Like, and I'm glad they didn't, because everybody can change. And so it's been a real blessing and an honor. And I'm just gonna keep spreading the message of positivity and these virtues. And I do believe that together we can change the world. Not one person can do it, but together we can change the world. So I'm super humbled, super blessed to be here, and thanks to all the people that didn't give up on me when they probably had lots of reasons to.
Sure. Well, listen, man, I'm a beneficiary of God's grace myself. So, I wouldn't be here without that. But I appreciate you. I'm so glad Amy Jamrog, I believe it was, introduced us, and your family's amazing. So thank you. And folks, I'm going to encourage you, get this book. You heard it from Alessandro. It's a book that transcends all the junk of today that's going on, and it helps you capture some of that good, practical, outdoor, turn off the distractions, get centered. Love it. So thank you, Alessandro, for joining us today.
Thank you for joining us. Yes, you all have an amazing day. And Kary, I'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.